Okay. I am audible, right? Am I audible? Okay. Okay. So, continuing with our sedimentation part. Okay, so continuing at our sedimentation part is that after this organic matters, okay, which are what we have learned is that in the sedimentation, some suspended organic matters are present, which are neither they are very not heavy also, so that they can be removed by your screening process, or either they are not very light also, so that they can be removed by your rich chambers. So those by doing the sedimentation treatment, those type of organic matters are now removed. But in that sewage or in the wastewater, again there remains some particles which are very very fine, that cannot be removed by the process of this sedimentation. So similarly, what we have done in our raw water part is that we have done one treatment that is known as your coagulation, that is your sedimentation aided with coagulation, which is also known as your type 2 settling, okay, or type 2 sedimentation. So these what is this coagulation? If you can remember that these very fine suspended particles, which are cannot be removed by this plain sedimentation process, so you can easily remove them. Not all, but you can remove some of these fine suspended particles by just simply increasing their size. Okay, you have to increase the size, because we know that if something is light, and if we can make them some heavy by changing their size, so obviously those particles will settle down easily. So here also in this one also we will do the same thing, that we will just increase their size by you know uh, adding some coagulants. Okay, so here we add some chemical compounds, and what we do, we just make this very fine suspended particles, we make their size bigger. So when you add these chemical compounds, okay, that is known as your coagulants. These chemical compounds are known as coagulants, and you add this to the wastewater, and you just have to give a very thorough mixing. Okay, so when you give a very thorough mixing after adding these coagulants to the wastewater, it will form a gelatinous precipitate, which is known as your flock. Okay, so the flocks will be created, and what will happen, that the very fine particles which are present in the this wastewater, so they will get attracted to these flocks, and they will become bigger flocculated particles, so that their size will get bigger. So in that way, this coagulated sewage, it can be now easily, it can be made pass through the sedimentation tank, and this can be settled down easily, and they can be removed. So this is the process of your sedimentation aided with coagulation, the same process which was done in the water treatment part also. Okay, so again we have some like merits and demerits of like using this coagulation process in the sewage treatment. So what are the merits? It's that like the this more advanced methods of sewage treatment based on biological actions are available these days, and they prefer to do coagulation process. So this is a like many processes of treatments are available nowadays. So this coagulation they prefer nowadays, in this modern days they prefer this coagulation process to remove all these things. And also the coagulation process, it has many disadvantages also in your sewage treatment. Basically it has more disadvantages than your merits. You can see that here it's written that the biological secondary treatments used these days for treating sewage are complete in themselves and they do not require coagulation. Moreover, coagulation rather makes some of these processes more difficult. So here like whatever treatments we are giving in this treatment plans, so it is said that this treatment these are complete, they are giving the complete treatment, so it is not required to add this coagulation process in this sewage treatment. So it makes somewhat the process more difficult. So the chemicals which are used in this coagulation, they react with the sewage, and during these reactions they destroy certain microorganisms which are present in the sewage. And these microorganisms, they are actually very helpful in the digestion of the sludge, and thereby when these microorganisms are being removed or they are destroyed, so they create some difficulties in the sludge digestion process. And also the cost of these chemicals that are added in this coagulation process, so they are also very costlier. They are actually much costlier. So without this coagulation process also we can proceed. Okay. And this process of this coagulation and this sedimentation, they produce a very large quantity of this sludge. Then if suppose coagulation is not added, then this sludge quantity of the sludge that is produced will be much less than what it is produced in plain sedimentation process. So it is said that the quantity, it will be very much more when you add this coagulation or the coagulants in the wastewater. So it will be a problem for like when you dispose of this sludge. Okay, so it will create a problem in that way. Also when if you add this coagulants, okay, so it will be under, it should be under some skilled supervisions, and they should handle it properly, because you should have the knowledge of handling the chemicals. So that means that here when you do the coagulation process, that means here skill supervision will be or the skilled labors will be required. So all these are the disadvantages of using the coagulation process. Okay. Now this sedimentation part is finished. So coming to the next treatment part, that is your secondary treatment through biological filtration of sewage. Okay, till then let me provide you the this link. Okay, the this attendance link, let me share it with you. Did you get the link in the chat box? Okay, you fill it up till then. Okay. Um, okay. So this secondary treatment through biological filtration of sewage. So after your sedimentation process, we will be going to the secondary treatment. So we will go to the secondary treatment, that is through your biological filtration of sewage. So here what is happening is that, whatever effluents you are getting from this primary sedimentation tank, so it contains some, unstable organic matter that is present in the sewage. Okay. So after you have, you have done the sedimentation treatment, so there the colloidal organic matter which, it passes. So the colloidal organic matter or the effluents which you are getting in the primary sedimentation tank, so it passes through the primary clarifiers and they doesn't settle there actually. So it has to be removed by, further treatment. So these colloidal organic matters, it has to be removed by the further this treatment. So this further treatment, it is known as your secondary treatment or your biological treatment, which is, this biological treatment, what it does actually, or the secondary treatment, what it does, it actually changes the character of the organic matter. Okay. It changes the character of the organic matter by, converting it into like stable forms as such, of like it converts it into nitrates or sulfates, something like that, by the process of oxidation or nitrification. Okay. So the character of this organic matter, it can be changed by different methods are there. So among those methods, we will study two methods, that is your filtration, and other one is your activated sludge process. Okay. And these processes, this filtration and these activated sludge processes, what they do, they just help the the unstable organic matters that are present in the sewage. So they just help to change the unstable organic matter into the stable forms, and they ensure the removal. Okay. So the removal of this unstable organic matters into stable form, so they just remove those things. And also the, the sludge, that whatever the sludge is settled in the secondary settling tank, so they can be disposed of easily. Okay. And all these secondary treatment processes, they are actually designed to work on this aerobic bacterial decomposition. So what is, there is two bacterial decomposition. So one is in the presence of oxygen, which is known as your aerobic bacterial decomposition, and the other one is your anaerobic bacterial decomposition, which is in the absence of oxygen. Okay. So this secondary treatment, it is, these are designed to work on this aerobic bacterial decomposition. Because why? Because this aerobic decomposition actually, since it is in the presence of oxygen, so there is no bad smells or gases evolving. Okay. So there is no bad smell, there is no bad gases that are produced by no anaerobic decomposition. And also this aerobic decomposition or this aerobic bacteria, actually they are said to be more active than your anaerobic bacteria. Almost you can say that they are 3 times active than your anaerobic bacteria at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. So again, so we have to, like we should make a environment in, we should try to make an environment, suitable environment in which these aerobic bacteria are, they work. Okay. This aerobic, the growth of these aerobic bacteria are possible. So we have to actually maintain such type of environmental conditions. Now we have these two units, that is your filter units, and the other one is your activated sludge process. So this filter units, actually it consists of what? It is a part of your secondary treatment, and it consists of some beds. Okay. It consists of some open beds which are, they have this pores aggregates on them. They have some open beds which, in that, they have pores aggregates, and above this above this or over these pores aggregates, the sewage is being sprinkled by some sprinklers intermittently. Okay. And the what happens after this sewage or the wastewater, it is being sprinkled, so what happens to the whatever contact surface is there, it helps in the growth process of this aerobic bacteria, and that is provided by the aggregates of this bed. Okay, and then the aeration, that is your oxygen, is supplied by this nature. Okay, then what happens, the effluent, that is you get that you get from this filter units or these filters, so that will easily settle down in the secondary clarifier. So that is about your filter units. So filter units also, we have many kinds of filters, like contact beds, we have intermittent sand filters, we have trickling filters, we have, okay, so we will study it later. So then comes your activated sludge treatment unit, and this activated sludge treatment unit also, it consists of some aeration tanks. So filter units, we have this open beds of these coarse aggregates, and in activated sludge treatment unit we have a aeration tank, and in those aeration tanks we have a very, long detention period. That is, the activated sludge, it is mixed with these primary clarifiers, the effluents from the primary clarifiers, and it is aerated. Aerated means the oxygen is given to you, it is given to it, and also it is thoroughly mixed, that is, it is agitated. And the sludge solids, those remains in, they are kept in suspension, they remain in suspension, and they will these suspended sludge solids, they will provide, the necessary contact surfaces for the growth of this aerobic bacteria. So this is about your activated sludge treatment unit. Okay, so now we are having different types of your like this contact beds. Those are your like sorry, we have different types of kinds of filters actually. So in the sewage treatment, what are the filters is there? That is your contact beds is there, intermittent sand filters is there, trickling filters is there. Then again, we have miscellaneous type of filters. And for water treatment, what filters we have? We have your slow sand filters, rapid sand filters, isn't it? If you can remember those pressure filters we have, but in case of your sewage treatment, we are having your contact beds. And these contact beds, these are used at, very very small plants that are there in small cities or in this one. So we have in very, these are very used at very small plants, and contact beds are actually not used nowadays. This has become obsolete. Okay, and then we have your intermittent sand filters, so these are also used as your smaller plants. Then we have your trickling filters, which is now in modern days, these are most commonly used. Then we have your miscellaneous type of filters, and these type of filters, they are used under special circumstances in some particular projects. Okay, so these are the different types of filters that are used in the sewage treatment plant. So next, let us know what is a contact bed, since though it has become obsolete nowadays, but you should know what is a contact bed for biological filtration of sewage. So in this contact beds, we use the contact filters. Okay, we use contact filters, and here the sewage, it is, like it is kept in contact with the filtering media for for a certain contact period it is kept. And this sewage, as it the sewage, it passes through, or it percolates through this filtering media. So what happens, a very fine organic matter or very fine colloidal organic matter, these are actually trapped in the voids of these particles of this filtering media. Okay, so as a result of which, what is happening, a film of this organic matter, a very thin film of this organic matter, it is formed around the particles of the filtering media. Okay, so as a result, due to this produce of this film, a very huge quantity of this aerobic bacteria that are present in the sewage, so they just get attached, or these get attracted to this filter sand, and so they will be present in this, they remain present in this biofilm. Okay, and this bacteria, whatever bacteria it gets attached to these aerobic bacteria that attach with this biofilm, so these will carry out the all these oxidation process of this organic matter, that is, by the process of your aerobic decomposition. So this is your the process of your contact beds, though it has become obsolete, but you should know what is a contact bed. Okay, So next is your trickling filter, but I don't want to start the trickling filter today because it is somewhat of a long process. So I want to start it in the next class, okay? Um, I will just complete this trickling filter in the next class, so not today, okay? Although I am tired also a little bit. So let us meet it in the next class. Have you filled up the attendance, everyone? Actually, I think 25, 24 students are there. So I think I should not provide the link in the group because some students, they are not present in the class, but they are giving attendance. If I, share the link it in the WhatsApp group, what do you say? Should I share it in the WhatsApp group? Because you people are attending the class and you are getting the attendance, but some students are not attending the classes and they are just giving the attendance in the link, isn't it? So I have noted there are 24 students present right now. So how many responses I have got? Let me see. Yeah, 23 responses I have got. So I think I should close the link now. Am I right? Should I close the link if you have filled up the form? I think one student is left. There are 24 who has not. Uh,
Ma'am, it's 23, ma'am.
20.
Can
Yeah,
you close
now
the
it's
you,
20.
ma'am? It's 24.
Yeah, it's 23. Okay. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me close the link. Okay. Otherwise, the other students who have not attended, they will again give the attendance. Ma'am, I can't give due to net problem. Lizano, you have not given. Okay, rule number 76. Okay, 76. Okay, let me mark it. 76. Okay, Lizano, I have marked your attendance. I will give it in the ERP, okay? Okay, no other students I will allow for the attendance anyhow. Okay, thank you everyone. You can leave the meeting. We will meet it in Tuesday. Meet on Tuesday.